The Children's Day. On the news tonight, State Governor identifies education as key to children upbringing as children in the state mark Children's Day. Edo State Government commences payment of 70,000 naira new minimum wage to workers. Federal Government suspends Air Nigeria airline project indefinitely. Abroad, Burkina Faso extends military rule by 5 years. Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us on Delta Television News tonight. My name is Onome Iyarue. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has restated his administration's commitment to embarking on policies and programs that will protect children's interests and prepare them for the future. Governor Oborevwori stated this during this year's Children's Day celebration held at the Cenotaph, Asaba. Perebotu has details. We'll bring you details of that report in the course of this bulletin. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, as the nation celebrates this year's Children's Day, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Imomotimi Goor, has stressed the need for collective efforts towards ensuring that children are educated and empowered to guarantee a bright future for them. In a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Nkem Nweke, Honorable Goor congratulated children on the celebration and described them as the greatest treasure of the state. He said it was a collective responsibility to ensure a promising and bright future for children in the state. Honorable Goor gave an assurance that the State House of Assembly would enact laws that would protect the rights of children and synergize with the executive arm to develop educational facilities and guarantee children's access to health care. Parents, teachers, and caregivers have been commended for their commitment and efforts in ensuring proper upbringing of their children. The wife of the state governor and founder, Umata Charity Foundation, Deaconess Tobore Oborevwori, gave the commendation during this year's Global Children's Day celebration at the Cenotaph, Asaba. Florence Oyibodoro completes the report.
Deaconess Oborevwori appreciated parents and teachers for their sacrifices in raising and molding future leaders, saying parenting was a difficult task that required collaborative efforts. The governor's wife urged the children to embrace God's teaching and advised them against acts that could truncate their future.
Our mother, our teachers, they are doing wonderful job in the life of our children, because without our parents taking care of our children, what they are doing today, they will not be able to do it.
Deaconess Oborevwori also used the occasion to flag off the human papilloma virus HPV vaccination campaign. She urged parents and caregivers to avail their girl child between the ages of 9 and 14 of the vaccine to help curb cervical cancer at an early age.
I use this opportunity to encourage parents and caregivers to bring out their children between the age of 9 to 14 to come and partake on this vaccine, because the vaccine is free and very effective.
The event was well attended by schools from different parts of the state. It featured the vaccination of the children by the governor's wife, dance, march past by the children, and cutting of the celebration cake. Some of the children expressed appreciation for the celebration.
I'm really happy and thankful, grateful, and also helped us in socializing ourselves.
I'm so happy to be here today. I'm so glad. For the past Friday, I'll be dreaming of being here today, but I thank God for enabling me to be here today.
The theme of this year's celebration is enhancing the total well-being of the Nigerian child through quality education. Florence Oyibodoro reporting.
Culture for Peace and Development held at the DBS Asaba premises. Speaking at the event, the wife of the state governor, Dickiness Tobore Oborewori, enjoined children to take their studies seriously to become successful leaders in the future. Violet Moye completes the report.
Dickiness Oborewori, who was represented by the wife of the Deputy Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Mrs. Ife Akbowowo, said children were leaders of tomorrow and advised them to focus on their education as success comes through hard work. She reassured them of the government's commitment to support children to develop in line with the more agenda of the state government. Dickiness Oborewori charged parents and guardians to inculcate good morals in their children and words.
Bear in mind that you are leaders of tomorrow and your future is bright. I urge you children to hold fast the opportunity to study provided by the government and your families, and remember that you must make our dear state proud.
The chairman of the State Pension Bureau, Sir Eddie Ogidigbe-Baje, who chaired the occasion, appreciated the DBS Asaba for the event, which he described as colorful. Sir Ogidigbe-Baje, by Mr. Osuya Ifeanyi, urged the DBS Asaba to expand the venue in future to accommodate more children. He enjoyed schools to imbibe the culture of using school uniforms that promote their cultural heritage to give children a good cultural identity.
I want to urge the management team and especially the planning committee to carry out what we call controlling mechanism and see how they can enlarge this arena. Subsequently, because I heard the general manager saying that they will be doing it annually. And if they will be doing it annually, you will agree with me that there will be overflow. It is an eye-opener for school proprietors to begin to think of allowing their children to have uniform depicting our cultural heritage.
In her remarks, the general manager of the Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba, Mrs. Christine Jobome Emetulu, said the station was passed to project the people's culture and support the government in the development of children. She described culture as the bedrock in which the people's value were built, adding that without culture, the people would not have an identity.
DBS Asaba is forging a new path and shining the light for the government and society, educational subsector, and all stakeholders to revive our fast eroding culture. Culture is the bedrock on which the values of a people are built. Take away the culture and you find a society that is laden with moral decadence, crime, and vices.
She thanked the partner schools and other sponsors for supporting the initiative to promote the people's culture and build a better society. An aide to the state's governor on peace building and conflict resolution, Chief Edwin Uzo, represented by Mr. Tony Ego and Dr. Fidelia Salami, in their admonitions, urged parents and guardians to teach children their culture, especially how to interact with elders and how to dress decently, while also advising children to learn skills and get good education to secure a better future. Some of the children and teachers expressed satisfaction with the event.
I want my first time do something like this, performing this kind of place and everything. I want to say that I want to thank DBS for this special privilege.
Very happy to be here because this first time I'm actually coming for a children carnival.
We really enjoy what we are seeing. As a school, in fact, this is the first time we are going out for something like this. So dance, cultural dance, different kind of dance. In fact, we gather a lot of experience.
Highlights of the event was cultural parades, cultural presentations, dances by schools, and award of prizes. Violet Moye reporting.
As part of efforts to ameliorate the suffering of the poor and vulnerable individuals in the state, the wife of the state governor and founder Umata Foundation, Deaconess Tobore Oborewori, has donated food items and air conditioners to the Living Faith Church, Asaba, where the Thanksgiving of the governor's one-year anniversary in office held. Florence Oyibodoro completes the report.
The items which were donated in collaboration with some Delta women include air conditioners, tubers of yam, bags of rice, beans, garri, onions, cartons of noodles, vegetable oil, palm oil, among other food items. The donation was part of the governor's wife's way of saying thank you to Deltans for their support towards the more agenda of her husband for the past 1 year in office. Speaking on the items donated, the resident pastor of the Living Faith Church, Asaba, Pastor Emmanuel Ebiwe, announced that the distribution of the food items which were meant for the vulnerable individuals in the Living Faith Church, Ibozo Road, Asaba, would commence on Monday. In an interview, some political leaders, including the Director General of the Umata Charity Foundation, Mrs. Loretta Ogbedo, Esquire, the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emu, the Senior Special Advisor to the Governor, Honorable Fukekeme Solomon, the Chief of Staff Government House, Honorable Johnson Erijo, and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Women Development, Chief Eunice Anira, described Deaconess Tobore Oborewori as a mother with a heart of compassion for all Deltans, especially the needy.
This Ecclesia program is one of the most unique things anybody can think of, because slow learning for children and to bring it to the fore, apart from other social care programs, she's done pretty well.
It wants to bring about unity of the human race by addressing the less privileged. Everybody is important. As everybody has the right to serve well, has the right to be attended to.
Within this short time, they have done so much to impact on the people.
She's always there to help humanity. She's a servant called to serve. You can see just 1 year in office, you can see the Thanksgiving items brought into the church. They are for people who are in need. She knows the need of her children in Delta. She's there to meet them at the point of their needs. Indeed, Her Excellency Deaconess Tobore Oborewori is God sent to Delta State at this time.
You can see there's a difference in this Thanksgiving. You see food items everywhere. In short, people are saying this is a better foundation they have never seen.
The gesture was a glowing testament to the unwavering commitment of the governor's wife's good intention for Deltans. Florence Oyibodoro reporting.
President Bola Tinubu has announced that his administration will spare no effort in ensuring that Nigeria's children have a solid footing for the realization of their dreams. In a statement today, signed by presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngelale, President Tinubu rejoiced with Nigeria's children, whom he referred to as the bearers of the nation's torch in the future, on the special occasion of Children's Day. He said that society was a reflection of each family and urged the preservation of the principles that made Nigeria a wholesome, nurturing and thriving nation. The president also congratulated parents, guardians and families across the nation and called for a reinforcement of the family unit as a place where the sacred values of honesty, modesty, hard work and charity were passed down to the shining lights of tomorrow. He, however, reassured the nation of his commitment to ensuring a safe and secure environment for learning for the children while improving the standard of education. President Bola Tinubu has said the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway will give 30 million people improved access to production and marketing centers. President Tinubu disclosed this in Lagos during the flag-off of the 700 kilometers Lagos-Calabar Highway project and several others to commemorate his first year in office. He said in the next 10 benefits He said on the next and benefits of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway during the period of construction, the road would provide direct employment for thousands of people and indirect employment for tens of thousands of politicians and more, adding that economic opportunity for millions was being opened. In March, the federal government started constructing the highway, designed to extend through 9 states with 2 spurs leading to the northern states. The project, which necessitated the demolition of some buildings, faced significant criticism and interrogation from Nigerians and the National Assembly, who believed the timing was inappropriate. Last Thursday, the Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, disclosed that 750 houses that are on the path of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway have been marked for demolition. The federal government has postponed the inauguration and retreat for members of the Governing Council of its tertiary institutions, earlier scheduled for Thursday and Friday. In a statement, the Federal Ministry of Education explained that the action was as a result of the presidential directive for a comprehensive review of the membership of the governing councils of federal tertiary institutions in the country. While it said it regretted any inconveniences the action may cause, the government gave an assurance that further updates would be communicated in due course. The Minister of Information and Culture, Mr. Mohammed Idris, today said the President Bola Tinubu administration is creating an enabling environment for the nation's media sector to thrive. Mr. Idris also explained why President Tinubu directed the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to expand the Bank of Industry's single-digit loan to include the media, and has urged the various stakeholders in the media ecosystem to develop bankable proposals to access the facility. The minister spoke at the ongoing ministerial sectoral press briefing, which started last week. Similarly, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, and the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, took turns to brief the media on the activities of their various ministries in the last 1 year. On the sectoral briefing, Mr. Idris explained that the administration was resolute to restore trust in public communication. He stressed that 3 ministerial sectoral press briefings were in line with the desire of President Bola Tinubu not to dwell on fanfare in his first year, but to fully be accountable to Nigerians by projecting government's achievements. The Edo State government said it has paid 70,000 naira new minimum wage to workers in the state in fulfillment of Governor Godwin Obaseki's promise to increase the minimum wage effective May 2024. Recall that Governor Obaseki, during the commissioning of the Labour House in Benin City, announced that the increase of the minimum wage for workers in the state will be 40,000 naira to 70,000 naira to reflect the current economic realities in the country and to cushion the impact of the harsh economy on the people of Edo State. In a statement, the Edo State Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Mr. Chris Meihari, said the payment of the 70,000 naira new minimum wage to workers demonstrated the commitment of Governor Obaseki to the welfare of Edo workers. The commissioner urged workers to be committed to their duties while contributing effectively to ensuring the governor finished strong to reciprocate the gesture by the state government to their welfare. Confirming the development, the Edo State Chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Comrade Odion Olaye, called on the federal government and other state governments to emulate what the Edo State government had done. The Nigerian Navy has said it has acquired 3 ships and 2 helicopters to reinforce and fight oil theft, particularly in the Niger Delta. The Marine Force said it would inaugurate them into its inventory on Thursday, adding that the service was also expecting 5 operational vessels from China and Turkey by the 3rd quarter of the year. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala disclosed this desire during an interdenominational service held in Abuja as part of events to mark the 68th anniversary of the Nigerian Navy. On steps being taken by the military to build ships locally, Admiral Ogala explained that efforts were on to build and repair ships in the country, adding that this was crucial to the growth of the service and the nation's blue economy. The federal government has suspended Air Nigeria airline projects indefinitely. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, Mr. Festus Keyamo, disclosed this in a ministerial briefing to mark the first year of the President Bola Tinubu administration. He said the airline was never a Nigerian airline, but an attempt to use a foreign airline to pose as a Nigerian national airline. You're watching the Delta Television main news. Up ahead, Burkina Faso extends military rule by 5 years. Details of this and more after this short break. Please.
Where is Glory?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Glow! Where Glow now?
I didn't hear.
Glow don't go village. Tell all our customer abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow berekete 10x. Now him I they take tension my customers. Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yeah. Wait, so with 1.5 when they give all of us, so you they enjoy up to 15,000 naira credit and data.
And I say I never finish you. See, when I say if you enjoy, if you not join Glow berekete 10x, when I go get 1,000 naira welcome credit. Finish.
Glow, you don't win.
Una see they here. Hello, please, I'm looking for Glow.
Please save now Glow with they fine. Now Glow with they go.
Okay, so
enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Glow berekete 10x. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.
Glad to have you back on the Delta Television main news. The global scene is next as we join our world news desk.
The Palestinian Health and Civil Emergency Service officials have said Israeli airstrikes killed at least 35 Palestinians and wounded dozens in an area in the southern Gaza Strip city of Rafah, designated for the displaced. The Israeli military said its air force struck a Hamas compound in Rafah and that the airstrike was carried out with precise ammunition and on the basis of precise intelligence. It took out Hamas chief of staff for the West Bank and another senior official behind deadly attacks on Israelis. The spokesman for the health ministry in the Hamas-run Gaza said 35 people were killed and dozens others, most of them women and children, were wounded in the attack. The strike took place in Tel As-Sultan neighborhood in western Rafah, where thousands of people were taking shelter after many fled the eastern areas of the city, where Israeli forces began a ground offensive over 2 weeks ago. The International Committee of the Red Cross said its field hospital in Rafah was receiving an influx of casualties, and that other hospitals also were taking in large numbers of patients. Senior Hamas official Sami Abu Zuri described the attack in Rafah as a massacre, holding the United States responsible for aiding Israel with weapons and money. A United States congressional delegation met Taiwan's new leader today in a show of support, days after China held drills around the self-governing island in response to his inauguration. The co-chair of the Taiwan caucus in the U.S. Congress, Rep. Andy Barr, said the United States is fully committed to supporting Taiwan militarily, diplomatically, and economically. China regards Taiwan as a renegade province that must come under its control by force if necessary. The U.S., like most countries, does not have formal diplomatic ties with Taiwan, but is bound by its own laws to provide the island with the means to defend itself. The Chinese government expressed strong opposition to the congressional visit, saying it undermined China-U.S. relations, peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait, referring to the waterway between China and Taiwan. The lawmakers' visit ran against the political commitment of the U.S. government to maintain only unofficial relations with Taiwan, sending a seriously wrong signal to the separatist force of Taiwan independence. Burkina Faso's military government has announced that it will extend junta rule for another 5 years. The country's ruler, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, will also be able to contest the next presidential election when he seized power in a coup nearly 2 years ago. Captain Traoré pledged to restore the civilian government by July 1 this year. But Burkina Faso has now joined neighboring Mali in extending military rule. The move was announced after a national consultation meeting in the West African country's capital city, Ouagadougou. An amended charter signed by Captain Traoré stated that the new 60-month transition period will take effect from July 2 this year. Burkina Faso has been governed by the army since January 2022, when Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Damiba seized power from President Roch Kabore. Colonel Damiba justified the coup by saying the previous government had failed to deal with the governing militant Islamist violence.
Back home, the federal government has promised accelerated completion of the 378.3 megawatts Egbema power plant in Imo State, saying it is currently 70% completed. The Minister of Power, Mr. Adebayo Adelabu, gave the assurance at the weekend when he inspected the power plant. He commended the Governor of Imo State, Mr. Hope Uzodinma, for collaborating with the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, NDPHC, to complete the power projects in the state. Accompanied by the Managing Director of the NDPHC, Mr. Chiedu Ugbo, the minister commended President Bola Tinubu for signing the 2023 Electricity Act, which allows states to participate in the electricity sector. Mr. Adelabo said the completion of the Egbema power plant and associated transmission projects would improve the electricity supply in Imo State and beyond. In his remark, Governor Hope Uzodinma pledged to collaborate with the NDPHC to ensure the completion of the plant to improve electricity supply in the state. He said the collaboration would ensure the completion of the 378.3 megawatts Egbema power plant, along with the 32 kV switchyard, the Omoko Egbema Owerri Aloji 330 kV DC transmission line project, and the Owerri transmission substation expansion project. It's time to join our business news desk for happenings in the business sector.
The foreign exchange market opened today with the Naira exchanging with the dollar at 1,520 Naira on the parallel market, also known as black market. This represents 1.32% depreciation over the level of 1,500 exchange on Friday on the parallel market. The Naira depreciation followed strong demand for dollars by travelers and importers amid supply shortage. The local currency on Friday closed flat against the US dollar, ending the week marginally strong at the official foreign exchange markets. After trading on Friday, the Naira gained slightly by 0.19% as the dollar was quoted at the rate of 1,482 Naira compared to 1,485 Naira quoted on Thursday at the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market. The foreign exchange market summarily released by the FMDQ showed that the intraday high closed at 1,519 Naira per dollar, weaker than 1,510 Naira quoted on Thursday. The intraday low closed flat at 1,400 Naira on Friday as against 1,401 Naira quoted on Thursday. The local currency appreciated by 0.67% against the dollar on the parallel market, also known as the black market. The Naira was quoted at 1,500 Naira on Friday as against 1,510 Naira per dollar, quoted on Thursday. Electricity consumers have kicked against the hike in the prices of prepaid meters, as announced by the power distribution companies. The Electricity Consumer Protection and Advocacy Center said that the electricity sector in the country seemed to have been structured to inflict hardship on the masses. After most of shutting down their meter application portals, some discourse over the weekend came out with the review prices of the products. The hiked prices followed the deregulation of meter sales by the Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission, giving room for vendors and buyers to sell meters at prices convenient to both sides. With the deregulated meter prices, a single-phase meter rose from 88,000 naira to an average of 147 naira, depending on the vendor. This is about a 67% increase for a single-phase meter. In a notice to its customers, the Eco Electricity Distribution Company said the new meter prices were in line with the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission's order on the regulation of meter prices for the Meter Asset Provider Scheme. According to the EKEDC, electricity meter from Quantum Manufacturing and Metering Solution Limited are 127,601 naira for one phase and 231,000 naira 895 naira for a three-phase. At Holy Metering Nigeria Limited, one phase meter costs 147,000 naira 640 naira, while the price for a three-phase meter rose to 227,207 naira. Gospel Digital Technology Limited sells one phase meter at 139,750 naira, as the price for the three-phase is 258,000 naira. Also, Goslink Engineering Limited charges 167,700 naira for a single-phase meter and 258,000 naira for three-phase meters. The Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company on Friday disclosed that a single-phase smart meter is now 106,802 naira from 88,000 naira. Similarly, the three-phase smart meter is now sold at 210,751 naira from 154,600 naira before. The prices were also supplied by IBEDC meter vendor, Mojek Asset Management Company Limited. The new meter prices took effect from May 23. According to IBEDC, it was stated that a customer would have his meter installed within 10 working days after payment had been made.
The Nigerian Women's Football League has announced that Edo Queens will receive 10 million naira for winning the Super 6 playoff. Edo Queens won the title with 10 points from 10 games. The Moses Adoku side claimed the title for the first time in their history. Edo Queens will participate in the CAF Women's Champions League next season. Runners-up Rivers Angels will receive 5 million naira, while Bayelsa Queens, who finished third, will take home 3 million naira. Rivers Angels won the title last season. And that's the size of our bulletin for tonight. Just before we go, here is the thought for the day. Never let hard lessons harden your heart. The hard lessons of life are meant to make you better, not bitter. To end Delta Television main news, here are the highlights. Governor Sheriff Oborewori has restated his administration's commitment to embarking on policies and programs that will protect children's interests and prepare them for the future. Governor Oborewori stated this during this year's Children's Day celebration held at the Cenotaph, Asaba. The Edo State government has said it had paid the 70,000 naira new minimum wage to workers in the state in fulfillment of Governor Godwin Obaseki's promise to increase the minimum wage effective May 2024. The federal government has suspended Air Nigeria airline projects indefinitely. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, Mr. Festus Keyamo, disclosed this at the ministerial press briefing to mark the first year of President Bola Tinubu's administration. So much for Delta Television News tonight. Thank you for watching. On behalf of the news editor and the production team, this is Onome Iyarowe thanking you for watching. Do have a beautiful night rest.